Alrighty folks, here we go. A couple days later, be honest with you, we got water on these and it had too much pressure, so I didn't really know what exactly it was. I unscrewed the plug at the end to release the pressure, tightened it back up, and as I walked back, the emitters were emitting properly. So through a mixture of Google and ChatGPT, found out that it's supposed to be that it had too much pressure on it. So I found, I think the Rainbird, it's just an inline pressure reducer. So this drops the pressure down to like 25 or 30 psi. It's 3/4, so we're going to drop it. We're going to use our crossover here and cut into that. So we got an arrow, as you can see. You always got to make sure you got it oriented the right direction, and then we'll seat that in here. So this will cut. We'll use this, have plenty of room. Shouldn't take too long. We'll find out what's fixing to happen real quick. Let's see here. I guess I need to get the camera back right. I don't know if y'all can see. All right. Step one is cut that thing. Pull this up so we can get a little slack. And we'll put our sleeves on it for PEX A. Same. And what we're going to use here, as you can see, a female adapter on one side that's going to tie into the 3/4 inch. Then we're going to drop down to 1/2 inch PEX on the back. Motorcycle Club. Now, these brass fittings are much better than the polys here, but they're also a lot more expensive, so I try not to use them unless I'm underground or it's something highly important. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to tape these. Now when you put tape on, always make sure you got it going in the right direction. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So if we go this way, now the tape will just tighten on itself as we screw that fitting on. Put a few there. We'll go ahead and do this side when we got it out. End of a piece of tape. That's technically what it is, though. All right, same thing, other side. Not sure that this is even needed. But better to be safe than sorry. So now this guy's going to go on something like so. This guy will do the same on the other side. What a beautiful day outside. Do this and start pulling some weeds. I've got to order, if this works, I'm gonna have to order more of those. I didn't have enough, so we'll get those on order and then we'll be able to put them on every row if it works. I'm just gonna hand tighten this because I don't want to pop that plastic housing. Anytime you're using PVC or this plastic stuff, you just get kind of nervous you're gonna bust it. All right, we run out of space on the card, so we had to step back and punt. So back to it. We're still here. We're going to go ahead and get these on. This expansion tool, 1/2 inch, is pretty easy. It usually takes about 3 or 4 pumps. 3 pumps right there. Go ahead and give it one more to be safe. just throw that in line here and get it seated in there properly. And do the same thing on this side. There we go. We'll adjust that as needed to keep it straight. So as you can see, theoretically speaking, it should work now. Give those fittings a second to firm up a little bit. There we go. Now we got that moved over a fuzz. Back in reasonable line. Put that there. Well, folks, guess it's now or never. Turn the water on here. And we already know we're leaking there. We'll tighten that. Just don't want to bust it. These should start working once they fill up now. I hear it. Got water to the line. Got an explosion out here. Never good. If that's the case, maybe they've still got too much pressure on them. At this point, folks, I have no clue. Thought that was going to fix it. Got water to the emitter line. Why they're not emitting, I don't know. Well, folks, I don't know that would do anything different. I'm gonna troubleshoot for a second, folks, and I'll hopefully come back to you with an answer. I just have no clue right now. All right, folks, I think we didn't necessarily figure out exactly why. I'm supposing it's still too much pressure on the emitters, so I've just cut them all out through a little bit of frustration, and I've barely got the water cracked. So let's go see what happens. So now I figured if I just place them like this, maybe a little more tedious to do it this way, but I'll never jam up or clog. So I'm going to have continuous pressure. Now, obviously, if I was to crank it wide open, it would be a different story, I'm sure. But we're not going to do that. Sometimes you just got to work with what you got. I'm supposing my next best move would have been to probably redig down to the main, because I've got a main that cuts just the irrigation off. I could dig down there and basically tie back into the main there and put a regulator, and I could reduce it there and then reduce it more here with the 25 to 30. I think it's just not that plastic housing and the way that's designed. I just don't think it's going to withstand that much pressure. I don't think it can turn down that much pressure, but I think this is going to work. So we'll be able to do multiple rows, probably do all the rows, quite frankly, without having to, you know, I thought with the drippers I may be able to do 2 to 4 rows, but I think this way may work, and I'll be able to do all of them at one time. And I think it's a slow enough water that I may turn them on, you know, twice, let's say, throughout one watering. But that's a good flow there. I'm happy with that. To be honest with you, I'm not the most patient person ever, and this was testing it. So, yep, here's the top side. I don't like it being right on it like that, though. There we go. So, folks, that's going to work. It's good news. So I'm going to go ahead and start progressing through each row. I'm actually going to try to do it without the Rainbird reducer there. If that's not needed, I'll go ahead and get this whole field watering tonight. But we'll see. I'll touch base with you here in just a little while.